The best of the best. Hi, I'm Laura Ray, and I'm back with my favorite products from my favorite lines. I did a video like this recently, and I'll link it in case you missed it, but I try out hundreds of products a year from different brands. Most of them I purchase myself, some I've been sent, and that offers me a lot to see what's out there and try on my own skin and share with you how I feel about these products. Let's start with my eye makeup because that's the only thing I have on right now. And the eyeshadow is from the company that I would say I love their eyeshadow the most, and that's Urban Decay. I've purchased so many palettes. I have the Naked palettes. I have several others that they've made. I love these little mini nakeds that they came out with. I think they're amazing. Today I decided to wear Naked Foxy, and I just love the shades that they pick, that they put in beautiful mattes that blend so nicely, and then these shimmers that are beautiful and not a glittery mess. So I like these even for travel. They're so compact. Somebody recently asked me that, what would I suggest for taking for travel? And these are great because they're so compact, but you can still get a lot of looks from them. And I love the Naked 2 Basics. These are just shadows that work for everyone, a great everyday palette. And then, of course, my favorite of all, I would say, besides the Naked Foxy, would be this one, the Naked 3 Mini. I love these plummy shades. They were one of the first companies to come out with these types of shades. I love their pencils too. So really for me, it was hard between their lipsticks, which I do love, the pencils and the eyeshadows, but I had to go with the eyeshadows. Eucerin. I have bought so many different moisturizers from Eucerin over the years, and they've all worked beautifully. I've been very happy with them, but I have to say their new tinted sunscreen is at the top of my list. This is their sensitive mineral sunscreen. I have super sensitive skin, highly reactive, and I cannot use any sunscreens anymore that aren't mineral without getting a reaction. So I love this one so much. It has a beautiful tone to it. It's supposed to work for all skin types. Now, I can only testify to my own that it looks good on me, but I can say on me, this does not turn orange like so many do. And it's very neutral, just like my Alana Mitchell, which is another reason I love that so much. So I thought we would start with this. I'm going to clip my hair back, and we're going to do a full look with these favorites that I love. Now, as many of you have mentioned in comments, you really need 3 full fingers full to have enough sunscreen for your face. Now, this is a 35. I did want to note that the Alana Mitchell is a 44. So a little higher number there for the SPF. But several of you have written me in saying, if you find something more affordable, similar, please let me know because everyone's wanting to have sunscreen. What I like about this over others I've tried that are tinted is it actually covers redness. I have a lot of redness around the nose from allergies and just redness from rubbing the nose. So this seems to cover it pretty well. I still like going in with a concealer around the nose, around here, but it works beautifully. So let's do one side, and I'll stop for a moment so you can see it. I recently showed this in my new favorites. So if you haven't seen that video, I have a lot of products that I've been trying out this summer, things I've never tried before from different companies. And when I tried this, the first day I wore it, I instantly loved it. Now I have to say it's a little more dewy, tacky at first than the Alana Mitchell is. but once if you powder it like I do, it eventually doesn't feel that way. So let's take a look. Here's the Eucerin on this side and nothing here. I love the way that this spreads. It spreads very easily. It does not irritate my eyes. That is a big thing too. I can go right up under the eye. I've tried some where the scent of it, whatever's in it, makes my eyes irritated and I've had to wash it off, but not with this. And of course, if I were going outside, I would be doing my neck, ears. I'm going to go ahead and put a little more on right now and go down the neck. I also like to wear hats outside for extra protection. I will often wear some kind of hat and, of course, sunglasses. You'll never catch me outside without my sunglasses. Even when I was a kid, I guess I love glasses, and I have all kinds of pictures of me outdoors in Miami with my little sunglasses on, even though I was just a little kid. That's the Eucerin Sensitive Mineral Face. Just love it. Ulta Beauty has a lot of great products. I've probably tried everything they make for the most part. There might be a product or two I haven't tried, but I've tried most of them. I love their lipsticks. I bought their eyeliners. So many products, but today I wanted to share the Ulta Beauty Youthful Glow Foundation. I haven't talked about this in a long time, but this was one I tried a long time ago when I was looking for a dupe for the MAC Face and Body. I loved that thin foundation so much. Now there's so many more on the market now that are thin, but at the time there weren't. And then this came out. Now this has a more oily feel to it, more moisturizing when you first put it on than the MAC Face and Body. The MAC Face and Body feels a little more watery, but it's thin like that. And this comes out, you have to shake it up really good before you apply it. And it comes out like in drops. It comes with a little dropper. You just go like this. And all you need is a couple of drops. And I thought, wow, that would be great to mix in with these tinted sunscreens that might not have as much color. So what I decided to do today was take 2 drops and put it in the center of my face to show you how you can get a little extra coverage if that's what you're looking for. Now, some people online, I read comments and people either really love this or they didn't like it. Now, the reason they didn't like it, some of them, I think they were trying to apply it sort of like regular foundation and maybe swipe it on. I found that doesn't work well, that this is the type of foundation that needs to be pressed into the skin. So you could do that with your fingers. I decided to use this sponge that is barely damp and use that today because then I can do a little better with going in spots that maybe need a little more coverage, where I have a little more redness or discoloration to the skin. I'm going to put a little on my chin. And this just gives you that little extra bit of coverage. I think this would be great if you just took the actual sunscreen itself, put a couple of drops and mixed it together. I think that would be great. And I'll be trying that out with the Dermatology because that was one that I felt didn't give me enough coverage that I was looking for as far as uneven skin tone and that kind of thing. So I just added 1 more drop. And let's do the forehead a little bit. This shade seems to really work for me. This is light warm. I wanted the neutral shade and they just didn't have it. They were sold out. So I went with light warm, and I'm actually happy that I did. I think it worked well with my skin tone. Normally I buy neutral foundations. Those tend to work better on my skin. I'm not really a cool tone, but I'm not super warm either. So neutral tends to work, but I really like the way this looks. Before we move on to the cheeks, I want to talk about CeraVe. Of all the products I've tried over many, many years, I have to say their moisturizing cream for me is the favorite. Whenever my legs are dry or my arms, even in the summer, that can happen. We have hard water and I have a purifying system and everything, and still sometimes my skin will get a little dry. This will take me right out of it. I love the texture of it, that it's not too thick, but not too thin either. That it goes right into the body. It doesn't make my skin sticky. A lot of moisturizers that do the trick, you'll still feel this tackiness to the skin. At first you do feel it, and then within a couple minutes, I don't notice at all. It has such amazing ingredients, and even with prices going up, I would say this has stayed at a really good, affordable price still. So I love this. I cover my arms, my legs, my feet. One time I was talking about this and someone asked, could you use it on the face? I looked that up. You can. This is for the whole body, although CeraVe does make, of course, products targeted right for the face. I don't put this on my face because I have other skincare that I just love, that I think is working great for me. But this is really an all-over moisturizer. Benefit. I think Benefit has so much to offer. Their brow products are phenomenal. They have the pencils where you can get half numbers like 2.0, 2.5, 3.0. They're just great. And I've talked about before me going and having my brows done. They really have great brow products, but I have to say my favorite are their blushes because I love blush. They have so many of these minis now, which I think is wonderful. It gives you a chance to have a blush, and let's face it, it takes forever to go through a blush. So if you can find a mini in a shade you like, that's really all you need. Well, recently Benefit sent me this, so although I have so many shades of Benefit that I love, I wanted to show you this because it's brand new. It is their bronzer and blush duo. This is the Hoola Secret Oasis, and I think this is really beautiful. Now on this side is Hoola Light, which is such a soft bronzer. When I first saw it, I thought, how could that be a bronzer? That's got to be a highlighter. But it's not, and it's so buildable and beautiful if you have fair skin or you have like light medium like I do. But this one here is called Willa, and it's such a beautiful shade. Now I do believe, and I will mention in the description, that they have a deeper one for deeper skin. So for the Hoola, but the Hoola Light is designed for a lighter toned skin. So let's try this out, bronzing up the face with the Hoola Light. This gives such a nice, soft look, very buildable. I often love doing bronzers like this for eyeshadow. I'll do that a lot of days, especially now in the summer. Sometimes I just want a little bit of color and not a lot of makeup. So that works nice. But you can see that this is very light, this bronzer. So here's the Hoola Light. And now let's go in with Willa. I love the way the Benefit blushes blend. I find that a lot of their blushes are hard to do. They really come up with very original shades. But I think this looks beautiful. So this is the Hula Willa Winky Lux. You don't hear much about Winky Lux. Winky Lux is now sold at Target. It's sold at Ulta. And I just really love Winky Lux. They also sell it on Amazon. They have some really unique products. I've tried their lip products. I've tried their blushes. I love the little blush that looks like a rose, and it looked beautiful on my skin and lasted for hours. So I almost picked that, but concealer is a tough one. So I decided to go with my Winky Lux concealer. This is one that I just was blown away by. It doesn't crease in my under eye. It looks so natural on the skin. Now I have 2 shades of it. I bought this one, light beige, for the under eye to brighten me up a little bit, cover any darkness that I have. And then I also bought it in medium deep so that I could use it around the face, like around the nose. So let's try that. What I like about this is the texture is very moisturizing. So I find that for my mature eyes, this is a perfect formula. Now I am using a very interesting brush today that I feel is a great replacement, if it's not in your budget, for the Angie Hot and Flashy brush. Now, one of my favorite companies to buy brushes from is Bdellium. I've shared for over a year now at least the Double Dome brush. Let me show you that. This is the Double Dome brush. It's got shorter bristles here and longer ones here in the back, and it's meant to give like a different finish to the skin and like an airbrush look. I love this. After I found this, I ordered so many other Bdellium brushes. The Angie brush is cut the exact same way as the Bdellium, but it's a little larger. So those of you that have a smaller eye space in here, you might find that the Bdellium works even better for you. Now, I'm not saying I don't love the Angie brush. I do. I think the Angie brush is really great for like the face, for blending in around here, around the nose, those types of things. I'm really enjoying that. What I've been doing is using this brush. It's actually 788 is the number of it for the under eye, and it works magnificent. It's very soft. The bristles are very soft and they don't irritate my under eyes. So I'm going to finish off the eyes with this brush. But I just pat. As you can see, I put the concealer on the corner, on the inner corner, and just sort of pounce it like that. This brush is more affordable. Several of you wrote me and said, do you have a dupe? I can't afford the Angie brush. I'd like one that does the same thing for a little less money, and I found this one. So for those of you that were looking for that, I hope that helps. All right, so I put a little concealer around the nose. That's actually a little dark for me, but I usually mix that too. What I've done is with sunscreen. So if the tint didn't have enough tint, I put in a little bit of concealer. That's another trick you can do that's maybe too dark for you. Maybe you have one at home that you purchased and never took back, and it's not the right shade. Mix it in with your sunscreen. That's a great way to use it up. So now we're ready to talk about lips. Let's talk about CoverGirl. I could go on and on about CoverGirl. I have loved several of their foundations, but I have to say this product right here is my favorite because it's the closest to my favorite lipstick. One of my favorite. I have 2, one from It Cosmetics, Marvelous, and then this one, which is a replacement for Black Honey. Black Honey from Clinique is a longtime favorite. If I had to talk about Clinique today, which I might as well, I'm here, Black Honey's my favorite. But this is the Clean Fresh. It comes in so many different shades. I bought all of them. This is my favorite, of course, because it looks like black honey. This is the best dupe I've ever found for black honey. It's so affordable. I think these are $5 or $6. And when they came out, I immediately, when I saw the color, I said, I think that's going to be a dupe. It might even be better than the one from Burt's Bees. There's a shade Red Dahlia that is called a dupe. It's all over the internet. I have that, but this I like so much better. I think it is a spot-on dupe and super affordable. Physicians Formula has so many great products. I do love their bronzers, but the smell does bother me. The coconut heavy scent to it. I wish they would make those unscented. Let's hope for that in the near future. But I went with an old product that you can still purchase. I purchased it, I believe, off of Amazon. And that's their Warm Nude palette. Now this, the reason I love it so much, it was one of the first highlighters that came out at the drugstore, but I use it for so much more than highlighting. This is beautiful as eyeshadow. I love all the different shades you get. Let's pop one on my eyes right now. I'm going to go with this lighter shade here, just so you see the color. That just really brightens up the eyes. Now, I love to swirl it together. Let's get a brush and put it on my cheeks as a highlighter. So I'm going to swirl it. You could do this bottom part and get a really bronzy blush. You could do the top and get more of that pink look, but I'm just going to swipe that right over the Benefit. And you can see the glow I'm getting compared with this side. It's just absolutely stunning. Now, you'd probably get more of a brighter glow if you just stay within these lighter shades that are at the top. But I've used these for shadows, highlighter, more of a luminous bronzer. This is just an amazing product. Now, when it came out, it was talked about constantly. Everybody was wearing it, loving it. And there's so many of these types of products now, you don't really hear about it anymore. But I still think out of all the products Physicians Formula has ever made, this is one of their top. I'm going to wipe my lips off because the next product is a lip product. NARS has such an amazing line. I have used their foundation. I have used their blush, and we all know the famous blush from NARS. I have actually a palette I bought with 4 NARS blushes in it to try, so I could try to find some dupes for them. Often I buy NARS to look for dupes for all of you for something that would be equivalent at a much more affordable price. But today we're talking about the best of the best, so I wanted to talk about what I feel is the best from NARS, and it's their lipsticks. Now, this is a pretty famous shade, Dulce Vita, and it's just gorgeous. Now, the reason I love this so much is the creaminess to it. Of all the textures of lipstick, for me personally, I love a cream look that has a sheen to it. So that's what this is. And for so many years, I stared at these lipsticks, lusting after them, and I finally bought one because I was trying to find a formula that's more affordable, that's similar. I don't know that there is one. This has just got such a special texture to it. I'm going to go ahead and apply this now so you can see what I mean. So beautiful. In a world of matte, we have so many matte lipsticks around us. I just think this formula is perfect for mature lips. It sort of smooths out the lip lines. I don't need a gloss when I wear this. It's got enough gloss to it that I'm really happy with it. It isn't super long lasting, but it doesn't wear off quickly either. And this particular shade is very close to my own lip color. So as it wears off, it's not so noticeable. I just reapply it, say at lunch, and then maybe a little later in the day. So of all NARS products, this is my favorite. We don't hear a lot about Almay. I never hear about Almay on social media. And I remember when I was younger and looking for something that wouldn't break me out, that was hypoallergenic. Almay was like one of the only companies at the drugstore that was like that. I remember years and years ago when I was a teenager, the dermatologist sort of sitting down with me and saying, don't buy from these companies. It's going to break you out. Buy from these companies. And I believe Almay was one of those because of them being like they were, hypoallergenic. So I had to think about this pretty hard. I do love Almay liners. I've bought a lot of those, and I have bought their foundation over the years, but this won't be a surprise because we've talked about this before. The Almay Goddess Gloss. This is the one that looks the most like a high-end to me at the drugstore. It has that Charlotte-esque look. Now, this is the shade Fairy, I believe. Yes, Fairy. I've bought many of these. I got my daughter, Danielle, hooked on these. She talked about them in a video with me, but I'm going to put it on top of the NARS so you can see what I mean. Look at that instant shimmer to the lips. I will put this on top of a drugstore lipstick and instantly feel like I have a high-end look. So here's the final look using my favorites, my best of the best. I hope this was helpful to you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a heart, a comment. Have you tried any of these? And is there something you're interested in today that really struck a chord with you? If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you here. I want you to feel welcome. I put out videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern. I love you all so much. Remember, all the products are in the description of the video. Just click on those links and you can learn more about the products. If you do purchase from the links, that supports my channel, so I appreciate that so much. That's what allows me to bring all of these products and this information to you. I appreciate and love you. Have a blessed week. I'll see you soon.